here our friend of SASI, a poet and a longtime activist, Ali Mir, who's going to share something with you.
Ghadar Singh Sarabha, born in 1896, was a revolutionary and an activist of the Ghadar Party in California. He was among those who left the US in 1914 to fight the British in India. During the struggle, he was arrested and executed for his role in the Ghadar mutiny. He was 19. So what I'm going to do is read two poems. One is an original poem by Ghadar Singh, and one is a tribute that I have written. The poem that I have composed is called Ghadar Kehte, or Ghadar would have said, and is my take on what Ghadar might have composed had he been asked to address this assembly. The poem also contains nods to progressive poets of India and Pakistan, like Sahir Luthianvi, Faiz Ahmad Faiz, and Kishwar Nahid. It's composed in the same meter as Ghadar's poem, and as is the tradition in Urdu tribute poetry, ends with a quote from Ghadar's poem. So first, Ghadar Singh Sarabha's poem. जो कोई पूछे कि कौन हो तुम, जो कोई पूछे कि कौन हो तुम, तो कह दो बागी है नाम मेरा। जो कोई पूछे कि कौन हो तुम, तो कह दो बागी है नाम मेरा। जुल्म मिटाना हमारा पेशा, गदर का करना है काम मेरा। नमाज संध्या यही हमारी, पाठ पूजा भी सच यही है। धर्म कर्म सच यही है यारो, वही खुदा भी और राम अपना। जो कोई पूछे कि कौन हो तुम, तो कह दो बागी है नाम अपना। If they ask you who you are, tell them that your name is rebel, that your occupation is to wipe out tyranny, that your work is to create a Ghadar, that this is your namaz and this is your sandhya, that this is the way you worship, that this is your only true religion, that this is your Khuda, that this is your Ram. If they ask you who you are, tell them that your name is rebel. Okay, so my poem, Ghadar Kehte, or Ghadar would have said, तुम्हारी सांसों में जो महक है उन गुलों की जो हम सजाए। तुम्हारी आंखों में जो चमक है उन दियों की जो हम जलाए। चलो रे हमदम चलो रे साथी, कबूल कर लो सलाम अपना। कदम मिलाओ कदम बढ़ाओ, है हम सफर एक डगर के हम तुम, है इनकलाबी पयाम अपना। बढ़ेगा जुल्म सितम तो देखो, ये मिट के हो जाएगा फना। और लहू जो टपकेगा बिस्मिलों का, तो ऐसे के फिर न धुल सकेगा। चलो रे हमदम चलो रे साथी, चलो और अपने ही हाथ से तुम उठाओ पी लो ये जाम अपना। न जान बेचो न रोब खाओ, न हाथ जोड़ो न सर झुकाओ। न जान बेचो न रोब खाओ, न हाथ जोड़ो न सर झुकाओ। गरज रही हैं बगावतें अब, सुलग रही हैं अब अपनी नज़्बें, धड़क रहे हैं अब अपने सीने। यही रस्म है ये रीत अपनी कि हारे जालिम हो जीत अपनी। यही रस्म है ये रीत अपनी कि हारे जालिम हो जीत अपनी। चलो रे हमदम चलो रे साथी, चलो कि शोलों में गुल खिलाएं, चलो कि मिलकर गदर मचाएं। गदर मचाना है काम अपना। जो कोई पूछे कि कौन हो तुम, तो कह दो बागी है नाम अपना। Let me just translate it quickly. Ghadar would have said, the fragrance of your breath comes from the roses we nurtured. The sparkle in your eyes is a reflection of the lamps we lit. Come with us, dear friends, dear comrades. Accept our salutations. Join us, march and step with us. We are companions on the same path. Pay attention to this, our radical message. When oppression and tyranny raise their head, they are wiped out of existence. But when the blood of the innocent spills, it congeals and will not be washed away. Come with us, dear friends, dear comrades. Reach out and raise our goblet to your lips. Never fold your hands, never bow your head, never sell your lives, never be intimidated. Hear the roar of the uprisings. Heed the burning in our veins. Listen to the pounding of our hearts and understand that this is our only tradition. The tyrants lose and we win. Come with us, dear friends, dear comrades. Come, let us nurture roses in these flames. Come, let us together create other. And if they ask you who you are, tell them that your name is Rebel.
Thank you so much, Ali. Isn't that beautiful? So, all right. You'll hear a little bit more about the Ghadar Party and the legacy of South Asian progressive organizing later today on the panel. But I wanted to briefly talk a little bit about why we decided to hold this convergence and what we're going to be engaging in the next 3 days. Hopefully all of you can be here for the next 3 days. But first, a little bit of background on South Asia Solidarity Initiative, SASI. For those of you who may not know, SASI started almost 5 years ago. And as our mission says, our goal is to work on projects and campaigns that support those in South Asia who struggle, dissent, and oppose injustices, both by the government and the reactionary forces within their countries. As South Asians living in the United States, we also see our role as amplifying the voices of those who struggle against oppression in South Asia as well as here. And with this goal in mind, SASI has worked on many different projects and campaigns since its founding. For example, we created an anti-war popular education curriculum for U.S. community organizations. We organized a national tour with Afghan activist Malai Joya, during which we organized some strategic meetings in New York City with local groups like Iraq Veterans Against the War, Vamos Unidos, who's speaking here during the weekend, Yaya Network, Raha Iranian Feminist Collective, and others. We also worked on supporting campaigns to free Binayak Sen and Soni Suri, who are human rights activists caught under the vicious policies of the Indian government. And also as a member of the coalition called the Mining Zone People's Solidarity Group, some members are here today from that. We've been a core part of a campaign against a proposed POSCO steel plant in rural Orissa in India. We've been part of that campaign as well. And also we've done numerous solidarity events, press conferences, demonstrations, bringing together New York City community groups against U.S. militarism in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, and elsewhere. So that's a little bit about SASI. And as many of you know, and also you'll find out today, that what SASI is doing is nothing new or unique. It builds on decades of South Asian progressive politics of solidarity within the United States, which includes the Ghadar Party. We hold dear this legacy of Ghadar Party work that was rooted in the struggles in the homeland and also at the same time being rooted in the struggles of the people in the United States, the country that they were living in. Is this legacy of progressive organizing and transnational connections of people's struggles that we want to revive, celebrate, and continue. Now, we may not be as militant as the times demanded from the members of the Ghadar Party, as you heard from Ali earlier from the poem, but we do see ourselves as the descendants of that radical spirit responding to the demands of our times, and hope we can live up to that. Over a year ago, we had this idea to do something about the centenary of the Ghadar Party. We wanted to step back in time to examine what inspired the Ghadar members to do what they did to work for liberation. And it's through examining the lessons of the past that we can understand the present and dream for the future. So we wanted to really go back in the past, and we'll do that today. But we also see the celebration as marking a moment as we work in our diasporic context, reaffirming our commitment and taking stock of how we do more sustained solidarity work with social movements across South Asia, whether it's by supporting student and peasant movements and social movements and fisheries movements in Sri Lanka, resisting and challenging drone attacks from here and supporting the emergence of new left forces in Pakistan, or creating awareness of the crisis of the garment industry and supporting the garment worker struggle and other struggles in Bangladesh, or supporting the vibrant Dalit and Adivasi and women's struggles across India. And in the same spirit of the Ghadarites, we also believe in supporting and participating in local struggles within the US, from those of low-income, transgender, Black and Latino New Yorkers facing police harassment, to street vendors, taxi and domestic workers, and more. So this weekend, with this in mind, you will witness and be part of conversations among South Asian and US activists who have grounded experiences in intersectionality and locally rooted struggles. And we also have artists, poets, musicians, comedians, and filmmakers sharing their work with us as well. I just wanted to make a note, you have a program with all the speakers' bios, but there's a couple of people who we added recently because we're planning stuff till the end. So at the closing plenary, we have Monami Malik from This Rising Up and Moving, and Naeem Muhammad, who's an activist from Bangladesh and a filmmaker, who will be speaking both at the closing plenary, so you can write their names out and remember, and hope you can be there for that. We also put together, this panel with programs and panels that highlight only some of the issues and struggles that face people today. And we're aware that several countries and regions and communities and their struggles are not specifically represented during this weekend. So, we don't and won't claim comprehensiveness, but are attempting to only give glimpses of what people are doing and to bring about a better world. So we see this event in the context of many that has happened before and into the future. And so we hope that through there's breakout sessions on Sunday afternoon. We hope that together with the speakers and yourselves and performers, we can strategize about the best way to support the movement work here and there, and perhaps brainstorm on campaigns that we can take forward or integrate into our own work. So Convergence offers this opportunity to do that. And with the help of so many people, we raised over $15,000. That's why we were able to be here at PACE today, and we have many to thank for that. I'm going to, Robindra is going to come up here and talk about that a little bit. But I just wanted to mention that, the inspiration and the idea for this convergence, came from many outside of the SASI collective too. I just wanted to especially just call out a couple of people. Wanted to call out the Brecht Forum, especially Max Uhlenbeck for setting models and events with programs that really put community organizations and movements at the center of their work. And also Foundry Theater, through the program they did, R.J. Makani, who's part of our host committee, they did a program called This Is How We Do It that brought together people across internationally and with dialoguing with social movements here. So that was really important kind of vision for this weekend. So I wanted to thank for that. And also we wanted to acknowledge that there's many who can't be here today because they're involved in other work. Just a couple of things. War Resistance League is in the Bay Area this weekend, joined by 20 other grassroots organizations opposing what something called Urban Shield. Urban Shield is a trade show that brings together law enforcement agencies and defense industry contractors to provide training and weapons to police enforcement and security companies around the country. So there are people there protesting that and preparing actions this weekend, so we are in spirit with them. And also our dear friend Malay Joya, an activist, is just completing her national tour. So she's doing that, so we are there in solidarity with her as well, and many other people. So with that, please join me in the next few days as we go back into the past and then into the future to dream a beautiful world. Thank you.
Hi, so I'd just like to thank all of you for coming here. Seeing all of you here after putting a lot of work into this event makes it worth it. I also just want to take a brief moment to acknowledge all of the SASI members who helped put this together. You can also find us, we'll have our name tags, so if you have any questions, feedback, comments, concerns, whatever, throughout the weekend, don't be afraid to approach us. So the people who I'd like to just acknowledge briefly are Prachi, Ginny, Sanjay, Tausif, Kobir, Saj, Biju, Naima, Maya, and Prachi with an E. And me, Robindra. And Sonia. Sorry, Sonia, but definitely thank you. Yeah. I just also want to give a special thanks to all of our guests from South Asia. Having them here is what really makes this event special. So I'm just going to give their names out briefly as well. From Pakistan, we have Alia Amarali. From Sri Lanka, we have Herman Kumara. From Bangladesh, we have Kolpana Akhtar. From India, we have Kavita Shrivastava and Bharat Pankar. So once again, having them here is really what makes this event kind of special. And of course, I just want to, again, there's many, many people who are here from the US. So I want to thank all of our US speakers for attending as well. Like we said, they're all listed in the program. You'll be seeing them over the next few days. And, of course, as Prachi mentioned, this event would not have been possible without the support of a lot of other people from outside of SASI. So I'd like to just take a few minutes to thank them. First, thanks to everyone who donated through our Indigo campaign. And special thanks to Amita and Giant, as well as Isuru Sanivaratni. We'd also like to thank Eve Ensler and the V-Day Foundation for a V-Day award. Thanks to Roy Singham of ThoughtWorks for his support, as well as Holly Webb and the ThoughtWorks staff for designing our poster, program, and other materials. And thanks to Rong Tuli Printers who printed our materials for us. There was a benefit party back in May that many of you here attended, and would like to thank everyone who came out to the benefit party then, as well as all of the artists who performed there. People such as Aruj Aftab, Tanvi Nandini Islam, Sunny Singh, Parijat Desai, Golam Harun Sarwar, and DJ Cloak. For providing us a space at Pace University, we'd like to thank Satish Kaluri, and we'd also like to thank David Ludden and the South Asia faculty for the catering that will be provided tomorrow. Yes, lunch will be served at the Convergence tomorrow, so there's no need to leave. For general support, and as an ally, would like to thank AID and the Yaya Network for reaching out to youth. Right now, I feel like I've just received an Academy Award and the band is ready to play me off stage, but I'm almost done, so. Finally, for bringing all of you out to the conference, we'd just like to give a shout out and a thank you to our honorary host committee, Seema Agnani from the Chaya Community Development Corporation, Chamtuli Huck from the New York Law School, Satish Kaluri of Pace University, David Ludden of New York University, RJ Makani of the Foundry Theater and Challenging Male Supremacy Project, Rob Robinson of the National Economic and Social Rights Initiative, and Sky Cohen of Blue Stockings Bookstore. Finally, last but not least, we'd like to thank the Singh Foundation for being our fiscal sponsor, and a special thanks to Shekhar Ramakrishnan, for working with us on behalf of the foundation.